Section 1. The Glorious Collision. A Ghanaian-American welcome. Okay, imagine this scene for a moment. You are standing at a busy intersection.
On one corner, a New York City hot dog vendor is yelling, "Get your hot dogs here!"
He is fast, efficient, all business. On the opposite corner, a woman in Accra is skillfully frying plantains, the sweet smell of kelewel wafting through the air.
She greets every customer with a warm akwaba, a smile that feels like sunshine. Let's get into the video, but before that, smash that subscribe button for your good luck.
Now, picture these two worlds colliding, not in a crash, but in a beautiful, chaotic, and hilarious dance. This isn't a story of which culture is better, it's a story of what happens when you put them both in a blender and hit high. You get something new. You get something vibrant. You get something that makes you laugh until your sides hurt. The culture shock would be immediate, but in the best way possible. An American might ask a Ghanaian for directions.
And get a 30-minute story about the man who planted the tree they are standing under.
A Ghanaian visiting the US for the first time might be utterly baffled by the concept of a drive-through.
You want me to talk to a box? And the box will give me food?
Chale, this is some powerful juju. The initial confusion would be a goldmine for comedy. That moment you realize you have so much to learn, and it's going to be a ridiculously fun ride. This new blended world would be loud. Oh, it would be so wonderfully loud. You would have the sound of yellow taxis honking impatiently, mixed with the rhythmic calls of street vendors. And Dodger boys, oh the den, and den, selling everything from roasted corn to phone credits. The soundtrack would be a mashup of Jay-Z and Ghanaian highlife legend E.T. Mensah. People would learn to navigate this beautiful noise. An argument on the street might sound aggressive to an outsider, but to those in the know, it's just two friends passionately debating which team will win the football match. The energy would be infectious, a constant hum of life being lived to its fullest, with no volume knob in sight. Ultimately, this glorious collision is about perspective. It's about realizing that your way of doing things is just one way, not the only way. An American might learn that a meeting doesn't have to start exactly at 9 o'clock to be productive. Sometimes, you need to ask about someone's family first. A Ghanaian might discover the sheer joy of a perfectly grilled cheeseburger on a summer afternoon. This isn't about giving up your identity. It's about adding new exciting layers to it. It's like discovering your favorite song has a remix that's just as good, but in a completely different way, and you get to dance to both. Section 2. The Great Jollof versus Burger Debate. A culinary truce. Let's be honest, the negotiation starts in the kitchen. In one corner, Ghana's champion, jollof rice. It is an identity, a source of national pride, the subject of fierce online wars, the centerpiece of every celebration. Rich, spicy, tomato-based rice, a culinary masterpiece. In the other corner, the American heavyweight, the burger, backyard barbecues, fast food freedom, democratic deliciousness, simple, customizable, universally loved. When these titans meet, they form a mouth-watering truce. Imagine the innovations that emerge. Picture a jollof burger, juicy, perfectly grilled patty, topped with spicy Cheeto instead of ketchup, nestled in a slightly sweet bun. Wok bowls in trendy Chicago lunch spots, complete with all the fixings, presented with reverence, like a quinoa salad. The fusion is unstoppable. Fried plantain fries, milkshakes. Americans discover groundnut soup. Ghanaians fall for mac and cheese, with pepper. The arguments become legendary and hilarious. Picture a Thanksgiving dinner.
Auntie Amma from Kumasi insists the turkey needs more ginger.
Section 3. The Soundtrack of Unity. Afrobeats meets hip-hop. Music is the soul of a culture. When you mix Ghana and the USA, you get a rhythm that will shake the entire planet. Ghana brings the irresistible pulse of Afrobeats. Highlife music. These are sounds born from joy, struggle, celebration. Complex drum patterns command you to move your feet. The USA brings the lyrical genius of hip-hop, the raw emotion of soul, the polished perfection of pop. It's a legacy of storytelling, rebellion, creating anthems that define generations. Imagine a DJ booth with both crates of records side by side. Pure sonic magic. We are already seeing the beginnings of this fusion. Afrobeats artists are selling out arenas in New York and Los Angeles. Burna Boy, Wizkid, collaborations with American pop icons. This isn't a fad, it's a movement. Rappers from the Bronx laying down verses over Ghanaian drum beats. A soulful R&B singer from Atlanta, harmonizing with a highlife guitarist from Accra. Playlists jumping from Kendrick Lamar, Sarkodie, dance floors filled with movement and joy. Azonto, TikTok challenge. No judgment, just shared energy. Music as a universal language. Shoulders, hips, feet, even grandma tapping her foot to the infectious rhythm. Section 4. Kente cloth in the concrete jungle. A fashion fusion. Fashion is more than just clothes, it's a statement. In Ghana, what you wear tells a story. The vibrant colors and intricate patterns of kente cloth. They carry deep symbolic meanings about history, status, and proverbs. Each thread is woven with purpose. In the United States, fashion is often about individuality and utility. Jeans, t-shirts, sneakers. So what happens when Ghanaian textiles meet American streetwear? You get a fashion revolution that is bold, bright, and unapologetically cool. Imagine a Wall Street banker in a sharp tailored suit, but instead of a plain silk tie, he's wearing one made of hand-woven kente. Or picture a young artist in Brooklyn rocking a classic denim jacket, with its back panel replaced by a vibrant Ankara print. Fashion would become a playground for cultural exchange. Sneakers would be released in colorways inspired by the Ghanaian flag. Baseball caps would be embroidered with Adinkra symbols. It wouldn't be about appropriation, it would be about appreciation. You would see women pairing elegant Ghanaian wax print skirts. Men would incorporate colorful beaded bracelets from Accra into their daily wardrobe. Who says you can't wear a brightly colored smock fugu with cargo shorts? As Americans learn the history behind kente and Adinkra, they would appreciate the skill of the weavers and the stories embedded in the fabric. This exchange would celebrate the artisans of Ghana on a global stage. Fashion would become a conversation, a dialogue between tradition and modernity, worn proudly in the concrete jungle. In the United States, family can often mean a tight-knit nuclear unit. You have your parents, your siblings, a few cousins at Thanksgiving. Independence is prized, and kids often move out to build their own lives. In Ghana, the concept of family is vast and all-encompassing. Your cousin might actually be your mother's sister's husband's nephew, but he's still family. Elders are revered repositories of wisdom, and the community is an extension of the home. The family barbecue just got a whole lot bigger, and the guest list is now 100 people long. The result would be a beautiful, organized chaos. An American family used to quiet Sundays might suddenly find their backyard filled with dozens of relatives, neighbors, and friends of friends, all invited by their new Ghanaian in-laws. At first, it might be overwhelming, but, soon they would discover the incredible warmth of a community that shows up without a formal invitation, simply because they heard there was food and fellowship. The concept of personal space might shrink a little, but the amount of love and support would grow exponentially. You'd never be lonely again. American kids, used to a more casual relationship with their grandparents, would learn the Ghanaian custom of greeting elders with a slight bow and never calling them by their first name. In return, Ghanaian elders might be charmed by the frank, curious questions from their new American grandchildren. The exchange of stories would be priceless. Grandpa Joe from Texas would share tales of his youth, and Grandma Adwoa from Cape Coast would share folk tales of Anansi the spider. The children would grow up with a rich dual inheritance of wisdom. This blended family life would create new traditions. Christmas dinner might feature both a roasted turkey and a giant pot of jollof rice. The approach to work and time is one of the most hilarious and telling differences between cultures. Time is money. Punctuality is a religion. Meetings start and end with ruthless efficiency to get things done fast. In Ghana, work is serious, but relationships come first. A meeting doesn't begin until you've properly greeted everyone, asked about their health and family, maybe shared a small joke. Comedy of pacing. Now let's merge these two worlds. Americans arrive at 8:59, laptops, open, ready for the agenda. Ghanaians stroll in around 9:15, warm smiles asking about everyone's weekend. Tension is palpable. Americans check their watches. Ghanaians wonder why the rush. Then a beautiful compromise. Start with 5 minutes of real connection. Everyone relaxes and feels respected. Fueled by goodwill, the meeting becomes focused and productive. Efficient warmth. Be productive and personable. Speed tempered by community. Water cooler talk becomes central. People know each other's names and stories. Better collaboration follows. A workplace people actually want to be in. Ghana man time meets American punctuality. A flexible understanding of time emerges. Deadlines met with less stress and more humanity. Someone 5 minutes late because they helped an elder, and it's appreciated. Focus shifts from clocking in to contributing. 9 to 5 becomes a flexible framework for great work with great people. History is not just a collection of dates, it's the story that shapes who we are. Ghana and the United States have traveled different paths, but their timelines are filled with powerful echoes of freedom, struggle, progress. Ghana made history on March 6, 1957, when it became the first sub-Saharan African nation to gain independence from colonial rule. Led by the visionary Kwame Nkrumah, this moment sent a ripple of hope across the continent and the world. It was a bold declaration of self-determination, a theme that deeply resonates with America's own origin story from 1776. Both nations were born from a revolutionary desire to forge their own destiny. The connections have only deepened in recent history. A pivotal moment came in 2009 when Barack Obama, America's first African-American president, chose Ghana for his first official visit to sub-Saharan Africa. Standing at Cape Coast Castle, a former slave trading post, he spoke powerful words about the painful shared history of slavery and the bright future of partnership. This visit was more than a diplomatic trip. It was a symbolic homecoming and a recognition of the deep, often unspoken ties that bind the two nations. It highlighted a journey from oppression to a partnership built on mutual respect and shared democratic values. Today, that partnership is thriving in the digital age. The connection is no longer just about government treaties or trade agreements, it's happening in real time on our phones. A Ghanaian comedian's skit can go viral in the United States overnight. An American influencer can share their journey through the markets of Accra with millions of followers. This digital bridge allows for an unprecedented exchange of culture, ideas, humor. The Ghana-US relationship is now being written in hashtags, DMs. Schools, in this new world, would teach both histories side by side. Children would learn about the civil rights movement in America and the independence movement in Ghana. They would understand that the fight for freedom and equality is a universal human story. This shared knowledge would build empathy and a profound sense of connection, ensuring that the future is built on a strong understanding of the past. In Ghana, a smile is not just a smile, it's an invitation, a sign of welcome, a default setting. In the US, a nod can be a sufficient greeting between strangers. Sports would be an immediate and passionate point of connection. One screen would show a Premier League match, the other, an NFL game. Fans would teach each other their chants, share their superstitions, unite in the universal joy of a game-winning goal or last-second touchdown. English is the official language in both places, but the rhythm, accent, and slang are worlds apart. Chale, used as dude, friend, hey, would find its way into New Yorkers' vocabulary. An American might pick up the habit of saying please after a request. A Ghanaian, learning the complex, unwritten rules of queuing in a busy American coffee shop. You learn by watching, listening, and occasionally making a funny mistake. Learning each other's social cues, understanding the meaning behind a gesture or phrase, is where the deepest connections are made. So, let's step into this world for one final scene. It is a warm Tuesday evening on a quiet suburban street that could be anywhere and everywhere at once. The air smells like grilled corn, spicy tomato stew, and freshly cut grass.